Flo, how are you?
Hi, how you doing?
You good?
I'm writing this off.
Yeah, not bad at all. So where are you?
Pardon?
Where are you based?
In South Africa,
You're in South Africa.
Johannesburg.
I'm in England. You are in lockdown too,
Yes, we are. Very much so.
like all of us.
Pardon?
Like all of us, all lockdown.
Yes, exactly. Everything has basically come into like a standstill, and I guess it's just to wait for the whole thing to blow over before we move on. The least we can do is prepare ourselves for whatever is coming after this. You know what I'm saying?
So how is everything on your side?
Everything's okay. I've been having a pretty productive day. Been looking forward to the interview. How about you?
My life is very busy. I have two children, so homeschooling, working on Malaika, my foundation, cooking, tidying, cleaning. It's on.
Sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
Interviews between and lot of reporting, lot of Zoom call. But it's good to be busy, you know? You don't see the days. And entertaining two kids is not at all easy.
Well, I'm sure you get tired more than they do. Well, way before they do.
Yeah, my friends, they're sending me messages. They're reading 2-3 books a week. I'm like, how do you do that? I don't have time.
Let's have a few viewers that do not know who you are. May you please give us an introduction of who you are and a brief overview of what it is that you do?
I cannot hear you perfectly. Sometimes you are on, sometimes you off.
That could be the network. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
Okay, I was saying that we have a few viewers that do not know who you are. May you please just introduce yourself, formally, so that they may know who they're watching on the feed.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're well, wherever you are in the world, and you're keeping safe and healthy. I can see my friend Betty join. Hi to Betty and some others. I'm Noella Kosaris Musunka. I'm the founder of Malaika, and I'm a mother of 2 children. I used to do modeling very heavily for 10, 12 years. I still do modeling, but just a few campaigns a year where I feel related to work with some brands.
You mentioned something about COVID just now. Is there anything that you thought you couldn't live without that you're doing just fine with right now?
For me, you know what? I travel a lot. I travel non-stop. So for me, it's a blessing to be home, to not be in a plane, to not be in a conference. It's to be home. It's a privilege, and you know we cannot complain. There's so many people that don't have nothing. And lost their home, so many refugees all over the world, and so many people lost their job. So I feel very grateful to be home, to have food on my table. Hi Moses, and I feel I'm feeling happy to spend time with my kids. I give a big shout out to all the teachers worldwide, because seeing the amount of work there is and how much patience you need. I have 2 kids. I don't know how they cope with 30 kids in a classroom. To keep them focused, doing their homework, they homeschool. It's not easy.
Well, is there anything that you have missed doing or going to since the lockdown?
I do miss my friends. I do miss my colleagues. I do miss sometimes traveling, yes, but not as much as I do generally. And I miss. I have to cook 3 times a day, so breakfast, lunch, dinner. Thanks God my husband can cook sometimes, but I think one of the first things when we are on lock, we go to a restaurant. And you, what you've been missing?
With me, I would definitely say I'm with my friend. I actually miss my team. You know, we always spend a lot of time together conceptualizing and working on new projects. And that definitely hasn't been able to happen. Only over the phone, like conference call, video call, but nothing's like the real thing.
That's my son. Say hello. Come to say hello. That's my son. We just finished all the
Hello.
Hi, how you
when I have
doing?
any technical problem, he repair them. Betty's on there.
Oh, yeah?
And Adrienne. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good one. I think that you play multiple roles in your life. You just said that you're a mother, you're a philanthropist, you are a model as well with brands in line with your vision. Could you please just tell us a little bit more what it is that you do in your work?
So I set up Malaika 13 years ago. It's really to empower girls and community through education and health program. What we created in the southern east of in Kalebuka, in the southern east of the Congo, is really we're developing a village. Is an ecosystem, and the model that we created can be duplicated anywhere in the world and in any communities. When we started to build our school in a village, for me, it was very personal. First of all, to set up Malaika, because I lost my dad when I was 5 years old. My mom didn't have any money to keep me. She gave me away. I grew up from families, and after 13 years, I went to see back my families in Congo. I was 18. I was the only child when my dad died. I was 5 years old. So it was a very important moment, because my mom at this point lost me, but she lost her husband too. So I have a lot of respect for her. And when I went to Congo at 18 and seeing the degree of poverty, to see how many kids were out of school, and having to see my mother that was not educated and couldn't look after me because of education, because she didn't have the capacity to have a job, it was a wake up for me, and I really wanted to invest back and give back, through education and health and water programs. Mm-hmm. So when we started, I didn't have any intention to work in a city. I wanted to go to work in rural villages. Mm-hmm. When you see Kalebuka 13 years ago, and now it's completely being developed. Before we start to build our own school, we had to build a well. And when we built the first well, it was like hundreds of people coming every day to get water. So we decided to build 20 wells over the 13 years, that impacting 30,000 people a year now. And more than ever with what's happening with the COVID, it's very important that we have all these wells. We built the school step by step over the 10 years. We started only with 3 classrooms, 104 students, and every year we were opening one more classroom. And now we have 346 students. The girls, they arrive at 5 years old until 18. We give them, is a leadership school for girls. We give them breakfast. We give them lunch. It's a free school. We really put a big emphasis on the teachers' training, on the curriculum constantly updating, on the leadership skills for our management team. And it's amazing to see them arriving at 5 years old to our school. They never use bathroom. They never eat with a fork and knife. We have Augustine now. She's 12. She wants to become a doctor. We have Jolie that want to become a journalist. So we have lots. We want to make sure they're not defined from where they're from, but what they want to achieve and what they want to dream. And the oldest now are 13 years old. But they leave our school at 18. None of them has been leaving now because they are 13. And when we have the school, FIFA, after the World Cup 2010, decided to build 20 community centers in Africa. And we decided to work together, and we built a community center in Kalebuka. So it's 600 meters of the school. And it's really fantastic because it's a complement of the school, because the community impact 5,000 people a year with free programs where we teach the mothers, the fathers, the community, the youth about literacy, about sexuality awareness, about hygiene, we're helping them to do the curriculum. We're doing a programs with a mother where we launch our own brand called Mamaya Mapendo, where we do bags, accessories. We're sewing a lot of accessories. And now, right now with the COVID, we're doing masks and we're giving them to the community. And a lot of them now have their own business. And we grow our own food that go to the canteen of the school. And with the community center we build with FIFA, we emphasize a lot of the importance of sport, of discipline, of children's rights, of women's rights, of equality. And it's because this is the 4 components: the wells, the water, the school, the education, the community center, the agriculture. And this is the model where that can be duplicated.
That's really amazing. Kudos to you for all the work that you've been doing. That's really, really amazing. You're basically the change that you want to see, I did a little bit of research on you, and prior to leaving Congo, what was it like for you living in Congo? And did you face the same challenges that all the other people that you're trying to help face?
I left at 5 years old, so I grew up mainly in Europe. So I grew up mainly in Europe. So I go now to Congo every 2-3 times a year, and I spend 6-7 weeks every summer. So definitely for me, I'm Cypriot Congolese, and my heart is big time with the motherland, and I really always wanted to give back and being there, and it's after my kids, it's probably it's the most beautiful things I did in my life, because going to the village where I see the level of Kalebuka, how poor was it, and seeing how young the population dying, the healthcare system is still very low. There's so many areas in Africa, and that's what we really need to improve and increase and to work together. And I wanted to set up a foundation where the money we're raising go to the programs. 85% of the money we're raising go to the program. I don't take any salary. For me, I wanted the foundation to be transparent and people can really see what they're giving. It go to this amazing school and programs we have where girls are learning to code, where they have math, where they have STEM, where they have English classes, where it's as beautiful school that's my son is studying in England, and he said, "Mommy, the school in Malaika in Congo is as beautiful as my school."
That's great. Was there any life-changing experiences that put you on the path that led you to being the person that you are today, or to try and achieve what you have achieved today?
Definitely. The crucial moment was to lose my mom and dad. My mom was still alive, but I didn't grow up with her. So to not grow up with a mom and a dad, I think it really shaped me, because I'm extremely focused, I'm determined, I'm very... I know that if I fall, I wouldn't have anybody. So I always have to keep my focus. I have amazing mentors around me, an amazing team. I think the team is crucial in everything that you do. And you need really to believe and have this and hear this voice that you have inside yourself when you want to do things. But you know, when you're working with children, we have 346 students at the school and 1,000 at the community center. And when you're seeing them just growing and the confidence they're having through the programs we're offering them and the values that we're giving them, because I do believe that you cannot have a school or a community center where you don't involve values. You need to, and that's the problem we're seeing in a society all over the world. Integrity, honestly, working hard, that's positivity. This is the value that you need to really insert from a young age, and when you work with such young kids.
And well, what was more challenging for you? What was most challenging for you? I mean, this definitely doesn't sound like an easy task. You're going back to a country where the health system, first of all, is very poor. The economy isn't really thriving at its best. And you are going back to this place and trying to create something influential for others. Like what was most challenging for you in that process?
But it was so many challenges, you know. First of all, we didn't want to raise money or to talk about Malaika in the country in a negative way. And we never use any sad pictures. Or malnutrition pictures, or the war. You know, Congo has a very sad history, more than 20 years of economical conflict, lot of political disturbance. So it was not easy at all to set up what... James, please. It was not easy at all to set up what we've been achieved. And what is not easy, it was where we're working in Kalebuka. To reach the village at the beginning was so tough, because the infrastructure of the roads was not very reachable. A lot of people were saying, how are you going to start? And to raise money is not easy, because when you talk about any countries in Africa, they're saying, are you sure it's not, people will really work well, it's not going to be corruption. It's, hi, Kaori, what's up? Hi, Moses. So, the perception that people has of Africa and where the money goes, it's not easy at all. Over 13 years, we've been very lucky because so many donors came to Congo, came to the schools, came to volunteers, and they became the ambassadors of Malaika. And most of them always come back. And that's very important because I can speak as much as I can from Malaika. But when other people come and see what we've been doing over the 13 years and go to talk and speak about the students, speak about the curriculum we have and etc., that's beyond words.
Well, is there a way that the ordinary folk like me or the viewers could contribute to your project?
Yeah, of course, with skills. We have so many volunteers helping us with skills, with donation. I always say to people, even if you donate $1, $2, $3, $5. But I do love your social media. Even the way you presented me is very interactive. I think I will use your skills to do some things like that once a month for Malaika.
So we really try our best. And also we just trying to also match the level of work that you put into your craft. You know what I mean? We somehow have to be on the same level with the same energy because we're all trying to strive for eventually the same thing, you know?
And it's really good because for me, I'm home, I'm very busy. I have to still lead Malaika. We have a lot of challenges. The government asked us to ask all the country to close all the public places, school, church, centers, and everything. So all our programs are closed, and the price of the food is really jumped. So we put an emergency fund where we're feeding 60 families a week. It's nearly, we started a few weeks ago, so now we impacted more already than 1,500 individuals. We distributing food, and we giving soap, and we around the 20 wells that we have in villages. We teach hygiene awareness. We teach them how to use the soap, how to keep the social distance. So it's been very, very full on, and the team on the ground is very down. A lot of school put all the staff on technical wage, or I don't know if you could say that exactly in English. So a lot of schools don't pay anymore the staff, but for us it was very important to keep our staff on payroll. So we're fighting. All our donations are down, of course, but we're keeping our staff on the payroll, and we want to make sure that we're keeping because we put so much training into our staff, and they have so much passion in what they're teaching and what they're doing, and you won't find it if you get rid of them. And we've been working more with them since 8, 9, 10 years, so we want to be faithful to them. But we have a lot of the big problem, the big challenge that I will say is the health of the students, because when they come to our school, we see if one student is not well, and we look after them. The problem of not having our student coming at school or at a center, it's a big challenge because they're not going to eat properly. They're going to come back very unhealthy. We lost last week one of the students called Leia. And it was very tough because she was 10 years old. She died in less than 48 hours of malaria. The parents came to see us after she died. But if she was studying at Malaika like normal ways, we would have seen she was not well. We would have looked after her. Since yesterday, we have another student that is at the hospital, Exodi. Again, if our school was open, we could see that she wasn't well. So what really scared me is going to be the return of a student at the school.
Yeah. So with the lockdown of the whole world, basically, what projects have you been working on recently? Because you did say you are still working at home and you are pretty busy.
But the organization still have to keep going. So we still there's so much administration, fundraising strategy. You need to review how you're gonna work for the next year with all what's happening in the world. And we're putting emphasis on making the mask with the mothers at the community center. We're making this week more than 500 masks that we will distribute to the village. Today was a feeding program where we have 60 families that came, and we distributed the food. We keep trying to train our teachers in these phases. And we have, our students cannot come to the school to get the homework and the lessons. So what we're doing, we have a group of women and a team that go to reach most of the students to give them homework. So it's a lot of all the challenges that you have on the way and where you have to face them.
Well, and you have no choice but to face them.
And you still have to fundraise, because to run all the programs that we have in the Congo, it costs $400,000 a year. So knowing that, yes, because the big budget on an organization like that is the nutrition, the food program, because we're feeding nearly 380 people every day, breakfast and lunch. And then we wanted to pay quite well our staff on the ground. I don't take any salary, like I said, but we wanted to pay quite well our staff on the ground, that they feel motivated and where themselves they can feed their own families and send their own children to school. So it was very a good part. So the foundation still have to keep going, and we hope that maybe in the next few weeks the school and the community center and all the programs we have can be back to be open.
True. And what are your hopes for the future? What do you think the future looks like? Because I mean, there's quite a lot happening in the world, and nobody really knows what's about to happen, but everybody's hoping for something.
We don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow or what we know. You know what? We are in England. I'm in lockdown in England. We're quite lucky. I'm very scared for Africa, because this lockdown, we're still not being so much affected by the virus, but we have so much other issues like malaria. We have the food price. We're asking lockdown to families in Africa, but they live day by day, where they go to get their income. They live in one room, 8-10 people. Water is a luxury for them. Soap is a luxury. Food is a luxury right now. So we're facing so many challenges in Africa, and to have no planes, all the borders closed, it's gonna bring a lot of other issues, and the economical side effect will be very hard to come back. It will take years. And even in Europe, even in America, when you see the amount of people that are losing their job every day, it's unbelievable. Even my industry, in the modeling industry, will be really affected. And all the children worldwide that don't attend school now, when I see my 2 kids that don't go to school since 1 month and a half, how are we going to catch up what they're missing, all these children worldwide? And I think even in this crisis, it's very important we keep tackling the education for every children in the world, that they can still keep learning. If not, it will be a big disparity.
True. On the same note of learning, how are you incorporating our day-to-day social struggles for everybody around the world? I'm talking about gender-based violence, sexual assault, or just unfairness in the work industry. How are you preparing the children at Malaika for that?
We're very lucky because our children at Malaika School have seen the world coming to their school. They saw the mothers from the village, the fathers from the village, the youth from the village. But they saw ambassadors coming to the school. They saw singers, celebrities, doctors, local, very talented people, artists, amazing leaders from all over the world, musicians. So they're very confronted to a range of people from all over the world that they look it up. We have lately the CEO of Caterpillar, President, she came to visit Malaika. We have a lot of CEOs worldwide. And I always ask every person that coming to Malaika School to really take time to speak to a student. So for 1 hour, I ask them to really not only say the success they have in their life or the position they have, because I don't measure people from which job or which career they have, but more from what they have inside and
how did they arrive to their journey and who the person they are today. So they hear a lot of stories of the struggle that these people have, the journey, the emotions, how they become successful. Why education, it's very important. I don't say only academic education, because in Africa, we come from a generation where our parents wanted, you are a doctor, a journalist, you are a surgeon, you are an engineer. You can change the world in so many ways, being an artist, being a singer, being a painter. And that's what we need to really light up in the new generation that we have in Africa, that we need everybody. And if you look if you need a painter, if you need a plumber, or if you need a good farmer, you have so many difficulties to find them. We need to grow more of food. We need to have more, investing more in technical schools. I always say to a student, they can dream to be whatever they want, but if they want to work in hotels, to be technical, they can do that too.
They can do that too. Yep. Like I think it's a lot of years of having a monotonous society where every parent wants their child to be the same thing. Like you said, either doctor, an accountant, or rocket scientist, you name it. And that goes a lot for Africa, where very few children are allowed to tap into their creativity, into sports, music, artistry, like you said.
And that's why the reason at Malaika School and at the center, we emphasize a lot on sport activities, on music, on creativity, and on solving problems.
I think you're covering your speaker, your microphone.
Is very important.
I think you're covering your microphone. Can't hear you clearly.
Did you hear me?
There we go. Could you please just run that back again?
Yeah, I was saying that is the reason at our school and our community center, we really emphasize on sport activities, on art, on music, and really make them, we want the students to be critical thinkers, to resolve problems. You cannot put a school in a village and just be academic. You have so many ways to think. You need to speak to the community, to the chief of the village. You have to understand there's no electricity in the village where we have the school. There's no water. How are you going to come up with the solution to all these problems? How are you going to put a school? How are you going to find the staff coming to work to this village? So it's a lot of other things that you have to really think out of the box. And that's what I do too with my own children. And it's good because, yes, we have homeschool at home with my two kids, but I teach them too other things that they have to help in the house, to hoover, to tidy, to help me. My son is really good at helping me with all the technical problems I have. And it's really good because they will learn more things too out of school. Malaika.org. I'm reading some questions of people saying, so do you have a website? Yes, malaika.org.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. So you're also an ambassador for the Global Fund to fight HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria. Could you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I really wanted to. It was very important for me because a few years ago we lost Miriam. She died of malaria. Again, it was on holiday. Christmas holiday, and she died in less than 24 hours or 48 hours, and she was 6 years old. It was a big wake up. It was a big wake up because you cannot do education without health. And from the moment Miriam died, we decided to build a student health center where we really check more our students, their health. And it was very sad because more than 400,000 people a year die of malaria. And like a student that died last week, Leia. So it's something that I really want to bring awareness. And through Malaika, we distributed 11,000 mosquito nets in the villages. And we do a lot of awareness through sports and activity at the school and at the center to really teach the community how they have to prevent malaria.
That's really.
And you were asking me the challenges and what is the most hard running Malaika. I will say to you is the emotions. When you hear Miriam that died, Leia, when I hear the mortality rate in Congo is around 47 years old. And I will say in the village where we're working, I will say even is around 39, 40 years old. So the
That's very
emotion
true.
when you hear a story of a mom died or a father of preventable illness or a student that died, that's very sad. That's very, very, very tough.
Sounds like you and your
Not
team are
1,000
more.
malaria nets, 11,000 malaria nets. Lina.
Let's just correct that real quick. I was saying that you helping a lot of girls with Malaika, as well as the community at large. But then there is a certain problem that you are tackling by focusing specifically on girls, which is a problem that's recognized almost throughout Africa, where opportunities are still not as vast as they are for girls as they are for boys or the male gender. Is there anywhere else, any other way that you think the problem could be solved at large?
You know, I'm a mother of a girl and a boy. So for me, I do believe every children needs education. 7 million children in Congo don't attend school. A lot of girls, more girls don't attend school. They help their parents, they're at home, they got pregnant very young age. So for me, it was very important to really invest in girls' education. But with our community center, we have thousands of young boys coming to the community center, where we teach them sports, where they come to learn to read, to write. We teach them computing. We have different ages coming to the center, where the next project, hopefully it will happen, is to do a little technical area where we can teach them some technical skills. So Malaika do a lot of things for boys. Mm-hmm. And I have no choice, because my kids come every summer with me in the Congo, and they come every day with me in the village. And my son said, "Mommy, you have no choice. You're gonna do things for boys." All his friends are in the village, so we do a lot of things.
They also actively support you. You mentioned mentors and the support system earlier on. Is that support system more family and friends, or is it more your working force?
My family is very important for what I do, but they stay really behind the scene. But the team is the main point that make happen what's going on at Malaika. And after 13 years, we have good credibility. So our donors are from family foundation, corporate, individuals. They come from all over the world. And it's just great. We have a lot of local companies on the ground helping, a lot of individuals, and people donating in goods, people donating with donation. So they're really donating in different ways.
What do you have planned for the future with Malaika and all your other organizations? What can people look out for? Will you be having any new projects coming up soon?
But new project, you have to be very careful. For us, it's not about creating new projects. For us, Malaika is about strengthening what we built over the last 13 years. And that's what's important, is really constantly putting the emphasis on the teachers' training, on the curriculum that we're offering, being adapted with the world that we live in, the 21st century, offering technology, learning with our students, coding, robotic. What is very important too is to really invest in the leadership of what our girls are. Our girls are on third secondary, so it means they will finish school in 3 years, and we want to help them for the next chapter of their life. If they want to do university, if they want to do technical school, or if they want to work at the community, we have so many amazing talents. They're amazing. Anita want to become. She wants to become a writer. They're amazing. Louise wants to become an engineer. And we brought 3 students in New York for the 10 years event. And it was just amazing how confident they were in front of the crowd, in front of the donors they were meeting. It was amazing to see them missing their country and their community, and how much dignity they had. And that's not only a work that Malaika is doing, but I will say is the work that Malaika and the community and the parents doing. You cannot build what we build in a village without the implication of the community and the parents. It's really a hand learning and a hand-hand journey.
And you seem to really be enjoying this journey. It seems to be something you really, really love and you're very, very passionate about. Do you have any message for people that follow in your footsteps, people that follow what you're doing and really, really look up to you, or people that work in the same field of work as you? Do you have any message for them?
I think us as African, we all giving back, because we all helping our mothers, our fathers. We always help a brother, or a sister. So we always have this sense of helping. And to run a foundation is not easy. Whatever you do in your career, in your journey, it's very important to have a lot of integrity, to have a lot of passion, to be very fearless, to be very calm. With the years, I learned a lot to be calm, to having situations that you have to solve, because you have so many different situations and different challenges. We have really to sit down, really think, examine, working as a team. It's really important to not impose all the time. But it's very important to ask the team, as the community, as the girls growing up at the school, we put them a lot in the decision making. What they think, what they want, how they see themselves. If we have to paint a room, we ask them, which color do you think? And they will feel related even more, because whatever we have, they're maintaining with us.
True.
And whenever you have a program, what is very important, you know what is very important? It's you're thinking you're doing a school or you build whatever you're building, but it's very important to maintain, because I see so many schools and programs that have been in Africa and all over the world. A lot of people sometimes don't put emphasis in the maintenance or in the training, and that is very, very key. What inspires you?
We have a viewer who just asked the question that I asked before, which is what inspires you? I don't know if you just want to backtrack a little bit and just explain to everything so major what inspires you.
I will definitely say the people that we're serving, the students that live with 6 brothers and sisters in one room, sleeping on the floor, and that she come to a school and she just eager to learn, and she hold a pencil and she can start to write sentence, and she can start to read, and she can start to express herself. That's these little girls, these 346 students that we have, and they're full of life and emotions. They are really my first inspiration. And even with everything happening now, with so many ups and downs we're going every day, I want just to make sure that we will fight for the school to still be there for like the next 5-10 years. And even me as a founder and leader of Malaika, I didn't want to call the foundation Noella. I wanted to call a name that if I die, or if anything happened to me, that it will still keep continuing. And with Malaika, I want to make sure there is a good succession plan. There is a good plan of if tomorrow an accident happened to me or anything. And that's very important, because we see so many foundations disappearing or not existing. And I don't want it happen that to Malaika, because the most important thing is these students can still keep going to school and growing and achieving whatever they want to do.
Noella, is there anything that you'd like to say that I maybe wasn't able to cover, or that you'd like people to know that I didn't mention?
I think what is very important in this time of crisis of the world we have is really have the sense of community worldwide to really work together and really encourage us. For me, I'm very careful where I choose to speak with, but when you reach out to me, I follow my gut. I want to work with them and I want to give interview. I'm not interested to give an interview for millions of people. I'd rather give an interview for 10, 20 people, but people that really care of what we're doing and really supporting your platform too, because you are young, aspiring people doing your platform and trying to do with quality. It's very beautiful the way you're setting up, and I want people to encourage you. And you will inspire others too.
Thank you very much. We've got two more questions
By
here
the way,
from the viewers. The one says, from your modeling, what do you think prepared you for Malaika?
I study first. I study business management. I work for company. Then I started my modeling career. Modeling was really good. It allows me to meet a lot of people. It allows me to travel, to work in with different brands and everything. But I'm very down-to-earth person and very strategic, and really think I like to be very organized in everything I do. When people ask me what is the success of what I do, it's very important to delegate. Delegate and find the best people around you, even better than you, and build your team is very important, and have the team at the right important. And have the team at the right skills they have. We all grow and learn, but it's very important to really have the skills. You cannot put someone in finance if they don't have any background of finance, and that's what we're seeing sometimes that's what sometimes we're seeing in our governments all over the world sometimes, and in Africa, that we're putting someone at a high level job and they don't have the skills.
True. And that's also sort of in line with what you said earlier on of paying the people correctly to somehow minimize or close the window for corruption. I think that's very, very effective in that sense.
And we need we really need to emphasize the workers. We're seeing in the crisis that we have now, that doctors, that nurses, that teachers have the people that really are the heroes. We need to pay them well. We need to award them. We need to give them the break that they need.
They definitely need to be rewarded because they're basically molding the future of the children at the school.
Yeah, exactly. And we were living in a world where people are sometimes by celebrities or how many followers you have. No, how many lives you're saving, how many lives you're impacting. That's the direction we should go.
Well, we've got a few more questions. I hope I'm not keeping you too long.
No, it's fine. Then I have to go to cook the dinner.
This one is from Zoe Sibir. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. What are some of the books you found useful on your journey?
I love Paulo Coelho. I read a lot of mentorship books and a lot of organization book. I'm reading Maya Angelou now. Unfortunately, I don't have as much time to read because I lead Malaika. I have so many reports to read, so many grant writing that I do with the team. So I spend a lot of my time in front of the computer and reading, and I'm bombarded by at least 200-300 emails a day. So, and when I go to travel to speak to a conference, I have to prepare myself, and I have 2 kids. I read a lot of children books, if you ask me. Right now,
that's nice.
I have so many books, and we read a lot of books with my daughter every week. So a lot of children book, but definitely I love Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist, and I do a lot of reading on organization.
Oh, okay.
And there's so many other books. I can put them on the way.
We could actually add the books to the description of the video after the live video.
I listen a lot of music and I try to do my sport. But believe me, with 2 kids at home non-stop 24 hours, I don't have a lot of time to read. The homeschooling. Already you're in front of the screen and reading what's the next they have to do and correct their homework and their homeschool. It's challenging.
It's challenging.
And big shout out to all the mothers all over the world and parents.
True, they deserve it.
I know a lot of parents were complaining about teachers. I think the first day we will have to bring back.
It's not an easy task at all.
Yeah, they will. They will be very happy, and I think we need to really reconsider how we're speaking to teachers and not pressurizing them, but really leave them doing their work.
Mm-hmm. Well, as long as it's working for you, school is very, very important, and we really can't keep kids just at home doing nothing this period. That's backtracking.
No, and how is the lockdown in South Africa with the kids and everything? Somebody asking me, I'm bilingual, French and English. Sorry, I don't speak my language, Swahili. I'm starting to learn bit by bit.
Was there another question that's in line with the emotions you spoke about earlier on? You said the emotions were very, very challenging because you work as a very, very close group with your colleagues. This question says, how and where does one start such an initiative while remaining selfless? A lot giving back, but not in front of the camera. How would you answer that question?
You know, because I spend a lot of time in the village where the school is. I spend 6-7 weeks in the summer, plus I go 1 or 2 times during the year. I'm very close to the community and very close to the mothers, to the fathers. I work in the village. I don't want any adulation when I go there, and they know that. So I work and I really try to understand their problems and how we can help them even more, and where I can bring other people to help the village. And I try to be very focused. You asked me about the success. You have to be focused, because when you go to Africa or anywhere, there's so many problems, and you cannot help everybody. You cannot help the world.
True.
Whatever you do, you need to be focused and keep things. And the emotion, it's when I walk in this village and when I walk all around the other villages and I see the poverty, and I will want to do more. And when I see my heart, it's this emotion that is tough.
That's really, really amazing. I hope that answered the question that was asked. Or it answered the question for me.
Hello.
Well, that's all I have for you today. That's all we have for you from Tue Media. Is there anything you'd like to share with our viewers before we go?
No. I invite everybody to go to visit our work we're doing, our Instagram, our social media. I invite everyone to be more than ever to have solidarity. We all have to keep helping our brothers and sisters on the ground. I will say to people where they see one thing that I learn on my journey, and I will advise everybody to build a well with their friends. And a well is cost $6,000-$7,000, a normal well,
okay.
And a solar panel well can cost around $35,000. We built a lot of manual wells, and we built a solar well. And when you see what's happening now in Africa with the virus, people really need to wash their hands, and with soap. So I advise a lot of people build a well. That's the best gift you can give to villages. And I will give another advice is really to work in rural villages, because they really, really need us.
True. That's very, very true. And apart from malaika.org, what other websites or Instagram handles, social media handles can people find you and your work on?
We are on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook. We are everywhere, actually.
Yeah. So they should just search Malaika, Noella Kosaris, or...
Noella, they can follow me, but they will find a lot of videos of my daughter and
yes.
and my son. And I have to put a lot of things about Malaika, because Malaika is part of my life of every day. So I work 6 hours a day on Malaika. So it's definitely a lot of things about Malaika on my social media. But the best way is to really follow Malaika on the social media, on Twitter and on Facebook. And people ask me sometimes what to help. You can run a marathon. You can sell cupcakes. You can donate your birthday. There's a lot of ways to do.
All right, we'll just add all of those to the description of the video. Thank you very, very much.
Exactly, Stephanie Martinez. Thank you. It's Malaika Diaz.
Amazing conversation with you.
Is anybody else have another question? I see a lot of people that's supporting us that came on the discussion. It was so nice.
Oh yes, let's definitely give them a chance for that.
Thank you, Lila. Hope you're well. Another question, another shout out you want to give?
You're getting love from everywhere. You're getting love from Congo, from London, from France.
Deborah, thank you.
All right. Noella, thank you very, very much.
Stephanie, thank you.
This was really, really amazing. We're definitely gonna re-upload the video for everybody that missed it.
What's the name of Malaika? Malaika, it's mean angel in Swahili. Peggy, say hi.
Malaika means angel. So
yeah, Malaika means angel. Emma, again, thank you. But I want to say thank you, everybody. I know you will be busy with a lot of Zoom, Instagram Live, and everything. Thank you for coming, for listening, and I'm very cool person. So anything
you are.
anything that I can inspire and mentor. Kaori is amazing. She's worked to amazing work in the Congo too. Henry, hi. Betty, she's one of the great volunteers at Malaika and amazing friends too. So it's nice to see everybody.
Well, thank you very, very much for your time. Hope you have yourself an amazing evening.
And I
hope to see more work.
I will use your skill for some social media.
I didn't quite catch that.
I will use your team for some social media because I love
it. Definitely, you can give us a shout at any time. We're always ready. We're always ready to work. Always ready to create. You know better. Yeah. Take care. Check.
Bye. Thanks.